Okay, let's do this live. Let's do this live, people. There's quite a lot going on, actually. There is quite a lot going on. We'll see what we can cover. I want to big up Anthony Mackin for coming on the Hangout the other day. You know what I'm saying? He revealed a lot of deep stuff going on in his life from boxing. And I was not listening, I was looking at Ebony Bridges' tweet. I've got it here, actually. Got it right here. What does Ebony say? Well, big up Daniel. Big up the Boone Man. Why is everyone saying "told you"? What is it they told me? What did you tell me, Boone Man? I can't remember what. Like someone else said that recently. I told you. Told me what? But they're not saying exactly what they're saying. I mean, I don't get it. What is it you told me? Oh, Ryan Garcia, were right about that. I tell you what, Boone Man, I got that one totally wrong. Blom Bomber. I got Eddie Hearn upset about Conor not having a chat. But that's all he can be mad about. He can't be mad at Ben leaving. The boxer doesn't get paid for loyalty. They get paid for taking risks. Yeah, that's very true. It's very true. What I find strange is how people are focused on the phone call. They're focused on the phone call. This seems just a strange thing to focus on. Real strange thing. Of course, it could be handled better. Of course, it can. But at the same time, sorry about this. At the same time, in saying it could be handled better, yeah, you were right about Ryan. You're definitely right about that. But like flipping Barris was terrible though. Did you expect Barris to be that bad, the Boom Man? You didn't expect Barris to be that bad. I didn't expect Barris to be that bad. I was telling Anthony, and not told Anthony. I said it in the upload way before Eddie Hearn said that he plans to sue Zuffa if they don't pay up what they're declaring on the matching right. And I said the reason Conor didn't phone is because his management, who takes a cut out of his purse, they told him not to talk to Eddie. Don't talk to Eddie Hearn. Right? He's not a businessman, he's a boxer. Eddie Hearn is a businessman. What a lot of these people don't understand, right? And I'm just going to talk from an experienced man who knows life, who knows the world, right? If you put Conor Benn in a boxing ring with Eddie Hearn, as big as Eddie Hearn is, Conor's going to light him up. Conor will light him up, right? He'll thump up his ass. But if you put the two of them on a phone call over a nuanced perspective like a business decision, Eddie Hearn is going to school him, and Eddie Hearn can elicit stuff out of Conor that he's not supposed to. Imagine if like Conor picked up the phone and phoned Eddie, or if Eddie phoned him and Conor picked up. Oh, Conor, this, that, and that. And then Eddie coerces the conversation into Conor saying, yeah, they're not really paying me what you've seen in the media. Yeah? The purse they're paying me is not what they're declaring my purse is. Automatically, if Eddie's got that call taped, that's ammunition for his lawsuit if TKO do not pay him the declared matching right offer. Right? You don't pay. Listen, what people don't understand, yeah, and I ain't no big businessman. I ain't got no millions of pounds, right? You don't pay someone out your purses in a sport where you're risking. Remember, you're risking your life in there. Conor has to pay Keith Connolly a cut out of his purse. Richardson, Hitchens, same thing. They all pay a cut out of their purse. You don't pay for his expertise, right? And then he tells you to do something simple like not pick up the phone. And then you say, well, I'm not going to do that then, Keith. I'll just do. Well, you might as well just handle your business yourself. If your management is going to tell you why not to pick up the phone, don't pick up the phone, right? Don't phone him. If they're going to tell you that and then you go do the opposite, well, you might as well just manage yourself. You might as well manage you use management because they have more experience in dealing with these business moguls where you don't. You're out of your depth here. In the ring, you can handle yourself. Outside the ring, no. You hire people to deal with these circumstances. And that's the 100% truth. That's 100% truth. Can argue. People like, I know what I've noticed, like, because people can't get their own way when I make the receipts, or I mean, maybe they think Beats is too up himself. I have to show him that I'm intelligent. You have to show nothing. Like, you know what I mean? If the facts are the facts, the facts are the facts. That's his manager. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to keep proving yourself. You don't have to keep yapping. You know what I mean? You don't have to do shit. Why is it getting smaller? Now, my best bet now, right, is the thing. My best bet is to put the laptop on so I can see your comments on the laptop. Because right now, I'm in the recliner and it's set up perfectly. So from here, I could put the laptop on and I'm good. Because I'm not getting up for now. I just went for my hike. I don't think I done 3 miles. I think no, I done about 4 hills, Bruce, but I don't think it was 3 miles. Maybe about 2 miles. 4 hills is probably about 1.5 miles, including the walk. You know what I mean? And I'm old, so I need my recuperation. I'm in the recliner, and I'm all right here. I'm all right. I'm in the spot right now. I'm in the spot. I'm in a good spot. I want to see Boom Mountain's comment though. You know what it is, Boone Man? I'm going to confess. If you're still listening, Boone Man, yeah? I'm going to confess something to you, right? You see my pick, yeah? My pick was full of bullcrap, and I've admitted it on my hangout, right? You know why I picked Ryan? Because I was in my feelings, and I didn't want him to win, right? That's why I picked Ryan. I mean, that's why I picked Barris to beat Ryan, right? That pick was an amateurist pick, right? That pick was irrational. It wasn't pragmatic. It wasn't none of that. It was an in my feelings pick. Because I think Ryan's a prick. That's why I picked him. That is why I picked Ryan Garcia. It was a horrible pick. Horrible pick. The reason why, see, I'm honest. A lot of the people in the comment section, they're not honest. I mean, they'll just keep arguing to hope they'll get right. No, I'll just tell you the truth. It's a horrible pick. I picked on my emotions. And that's how they talk about Conor Benn. It's all on their emotions. Everything they discuss is all on their emotions. And that's okay. But you've got to acknowledge it's emotion. Stop pretending that you're coming from a rational perspective and you're not. It's totally like when people talk about a host of things in boxing, it's irrational. It's totally irrational. You can bring as much receipts to them as possible, and they just want to be really irrational. Yeah. That's why I picked him. It was, hey, boom, man, it was the worst pick ever. And Ryan made my pick look stupid. Ryan made my pick look like this guy must have never watched a boxing match in his life. That's what you know what I mean. That made me look stupid. My pick looks stupid in there. I'm telling you. You know, like what was some of my worst picks as well that I was really pissed about? You know, like I remember when I picked Keith Thurman to beat Manny Pacquiao. And then you know when after Pacquiao beat him, I just felt really stupid. I said, why did I pick fucking Keith to beat Manny? Kicking myself. Kicking myself. But we're all good tonight, man. We're all good. We're all good. Worst pick of the year. And well, the year's just started. But the Barrios pick was one of my worst picks, period. Worst picks. Horrible pick. Barrios looked absolutely like, my God, he was inept, bro. He was so inept. He fought way better against Tank than he did against Ryan. When I saw him against Tank, he actually looked okay. Against Ryan, he like, well, what happened? Ryan just picked him apart. Ryan out jabbed the guy. Ryan's footwork made this guy look like. And the thing is, see, right? I don't want to hate on Ryan because he won the title. So I'm going to give him his dues, yeah? I'm going to give Ryan his dues, right? But you see that little footwork you were doing? Your footwork nowhere near as good as Shakur's. Shakur going to make you look stupid, bro. Going to make you look stupid. And Devin will beat him in a rematch, right? Horrible pick. Worst pick ever. I can't believe how crap like Barrios was. Yeah, man. Yeah, he was terrible. The WBC basically handed Ryan that belt because they were hungry for his sanctioning fees. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Big up Bruce Gas. Big up Anthony. Yeah, good evening. You're putting in the overtime this week. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Anthony, I suspect that Barris was paid to take a beating. I'm glad you said it and I didn't. Because I was wondering how he could be that poor. I'm still wondering how he could have been that poor. Yeah, Barris could not make them the money that Ryan Garcia could. Yeah, man. Toby Bartlett, bigging up the Boone man. And the Boone man in kind, bigging up Toby. I'm bigging up everyone. Everyone bigging up each other. Big up Jimmy. Yeah, you did ask if it was from the heart or the head, Anthony. You did ask. You did ask that. You did ask that. You know what I mean? And I remember I come up with all the reasons. You know what I mean? Yeah, Barros did better against Tank and Ryan lost to Rowley. And oh man, come on, Beats, man. Come on, bro. Don't pick like that again. Horrible pick. Week game all night. Do you know rap star boxing knowledge? No, I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I kind of stay. I'll work with some people, but I mean, I don't really. I don't know. I'm just self-contained there, innit? I mean, collabs and stuff. It depends. Depends what, I mean. It depends. Depends. Why? What did he want to collab with me? Why would I want to collab with him? Does he want to collab with me? I don't know. Is that what he told you? Did he tell you that he wants to collab with me? So, what's the deal? What's the deal with Chris Eubank Jr.? Yeah. What is the deal with Chris Eubank Jr.? How do you want to fight Edgar Berlanga at 164, right? When you could clearly see this is one big 168 pounder, but yet he was crying that Chris and Eddie drained him, right? With the rehydration clauses or second day weighing. He was crying. But I'm not mad at Chris. I ain't mad at Chris. And you see that's why a lot of people, they get upset when I break down boxing. But my process is pretty simple. Chris acquiesced to what Conor and Eddie did because he wanted the bag. So he said, yeah, I'm going to drain myself or deplete myself with the second day weighing or whatnot because he wanted the bag. And look, I don't have no problem. If Edgar needs the bag, you're going to take the fight at 164. And probably Chris is going to knock 7 bells out of you. But if you're the A side, you're the A side. I'm not mad at anyone who's the A side. Who's getting things in their favor so they can gain an advantage. I'm not mad about that. That's what I would do if I was boxing. What, you think if I was boxing, I would try and please some of you in the comment section and make everything fair and even? No, go drain yourself. Go drain yourself so I can thump you up and get a highlight reel knockout. And then next time they got to pay me millions and millions and millions when I fight. Why not? And this is what I'm saying, right? The problem with a lot of people, because they don't like Conor Benn, they didn't like Conor Benn getting the concessions. But because they like Chris over Conor, when Chris is doing this to Edgar Berlanga, they're going to make all these reasons why it's okay for Chris to do it, but it's not okay for Conor to get concessions. And see, I don't do the uneven broadcasting. I don't do uneven broadcasting. If it's all right for Conor to get the concession, it's all right for Chris to get it. It's Chris who's done the two stadium fights on the bounce. Edgar hasn't done that. So if he can get Edgar, right? Because Edgar's even prepared to come to London for the fight because he knows Eubank is the A side. He's not stupid. He knows Eubank is the A side. And I'm not even saying Conor weren't the A side over Chris. Conor weren't the A side. Chris was the A side in the first fight. But the thing is, though, they knew Eddie. You know what Chris is mad at? Is that Eddie and Conor knew Chris was the A side, but at the same time, Chris wanted the bag so bad, right? That when they stuck on the rehydration clause and wouldn't come off it, Chris did it because he wanted the bag. So they played Chris and probably have ruined his career. Yeah? I've never seen Chris's punch resistance, well, apart from the Liam Smith fight, and I still stand by that he got hit by an elbow, right? Chris's punch resistance is gone. Yeah, you can't get to that age there and be like struggling that bad on the weight, right? You don't come back from that when you're in your mid-30s. You don't come back from it's like Roy. Roy tried everything to come back after the first Tarver knockout. But by the time, it's too late, bro. It's too late. You've destroyed your body, right? You can walk around as a civilian in that condition and it's not going to affect you. But when you're taking like Glenn Goff Johnson landing them left hooks, yeah, you're going over. Even the Australian guy knocked out Roy because you're finished. You're done. You're done. Your body can't recover from that. You see all Hughie Fury, yeah? Hughie Fury will never ascend the heights of boxing. I don't even know if he's still boxing. You know why? Because Hughie had that illness. Remember that illness where he had them rashes? The illness was pretty bad, right? And he's like, if he was just living civilian life, he'd be okay to get a regular 9 to 5, and he could just go about what he's doing. But boxing, no, you'll never be physically in condition to be a top heavyweight with that illness there. It's just took too much of a toll on him. It's like Virgil. Boots is going to batter Virgil, in my opinion. I'm probably going to get that wrong now, but I think Boots is going to batter Virgil. I think Virgil looked like he's had too many illnesses, man. Virgil had too many illnesses. It's going to be hard to come back. You got to be a strong back dude to come back from them illnesses. You know what I mean? Like the old school boxers. You got to be one of them old school boxers, bro. You know what I mean? All good. Boots is going to lump up Virgil badly. Virgil will have a puncher's chance, I guess, but he's not. You're not beating. You're not beating Boots. You are not beating Boots. You're gonna get punch up. Boots is gonna punch up that boy. Gonna punch him up. And Virgil. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. He's not bad. He's not bad. He's not bad. Virgil too basic, man. Boots gonna, get them weird punching angles and thump him up, man. You know what I mean? Virgil too basic. Too basic, man. He's not even gonna see where a lot of Boots' right hands are coming from. You know, the Mexican fan, but he's gonna work Boots' body, man. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. He'll get his opportunity. Boots is hittable. He's gonna hit Boots because Boots is hittable. Anthony says Boots is a level above Ortiz. Ortiz is a basic front-footed boxer. Yeah, that's what he is. That's what he is. So you think Barry's lied down, yeah? Barry's lied down, yeah. I hope he got. If he did, I hope they compensated him well. Doctor Wu, what's good? Okay, he's from my part of town, yeah. My part of town. What does that mean, though? Just because he's from my part of town, it don't mean that we have to collab. I'll collab with someone from flipping Belgrave if they were good for it. Him being in London, I don't mean we got a collab. By no means. Yeah, Huey could have died from that blood illness. It was a bad. You can see that was a bad illness. Like at times he'd be in a and the blood would come through his pores. The blood was just like, what's going on, Huey? Oh, was Barrios ill before the fight? He was vomiting before the fight. What, like Richardson? How comes both Richardson and Barrios were vomiting before the fight? There's somebody poisoning the boxers around there. Oh, I agree with you, Daniel. The Dubois fight could have done AJ. It might have done AJ for life. Yeah, it might well have done. Might well have done. And I'm not going to be like the Wilder fan base, like everything is still brilliant when it's clearly not. Right? AJ looked awful. It's Daniel Dubois. He looked absolutely awful. Yeah, Daniel might have, you know what I mean, put AJ's career to rest, man. He might well have done. Yeah, man. I can't lie, Daniel. Yeah, I can't lie. It might be game over for AJ. It might be game over. Yeah. I mean, I ain't seen no YouTubers I want to do vids with. Really, I'm doing this a long time. I mean, I'll flipping collab with Al Bernstein or someone, man. You know what I'm saying? Like someone's gonna or what's her name? Is it Colleen Elcock? Yeah, yeah. Someone like that. Some people like that. They're YouTubers, man. They're just YouTubers like me. No big deal. No big deal. Dubois jab is going to be a huge problem for Wardley. Yeah, but Wardley got a good jab himself, Daniel. Anthony, he doesn't see how AJ comes back from the life-changing accident. The Dubois fight ended AJ's career at the top level, but he can still make dough with gimmick fights. Wow, is that all he's used for now? Well, Eddie's gonna. If that's the case, Eddie's gonna milk him, bro. He's gonna milk him. Lucas, if that's it for AJ, he's had a great career. Dude almost died 2 months ago. Yeah, yeah, he's had a good career. He's had a very not a great career actually. You know what I mean, like he beat some good fighters. Like you got Klitschko, you got Povetkin, Joseph Parker, um, stadium fights. He's done well. He's done very well for himself. Dubois versus Wardley is going to be crazy. Huh. Death row with the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fade me. You reckon, yeah? You reckon it's going to be crazy? Off the chisel, yeah? Yeah, man. Gold medal too. Daniel agrees, great career. Anthony agrees, phenomenal career. Yep, done his thing. Done his thing. He provided entertainment. He took the heavyweight division out the doldrums. Oh, it's not going the distance. I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think I got Fabio. You know, I think I got. I think they're taking a chance, bringing Daniel back from a knockout loss, and then putting him in there with a puncher like Fabio. I think that's pretty dangerous. I do think that's pretty dangerous. Yeah, thinking about it now, it's pretty dangerous. Daniel Wardley doesn't have a great chin. He just has very underrated upper body movement. His upper body movement is underrated, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like people didn't look at that against Joseph Parker. His upper body, but Dr. Wu, she's already said it. AJ brought money to the game. Yeah, a lot of people were able to eat when AJ got in the game. A lot of people were able to eat, man. You know what I mean? Can't deny that, man. That Lucas Wardley ain't hit by a huge puncher like Dubois, in my opinion. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. But who are the punches that Dubois has been in with then? All right. AJ buzzed him a little. Joyce can hit a little. But what happens when Fabio starts cracking him? Because Fabio's gonna hit him. Daniel's hittable. Fabio's gonna, even though Daniel's gonna work behind that jab, Daniel's hittable, bro. Daniel don't move his head like um Chris Bird or anything like that. Anthony, I think that is a dangerous chance to put him back in there with a puncher after a knockout loss. If they pull it off, I tip my hat to them. I think it's a very dangerous fight. Very dangerous fight. You know, because like boxing, right, as well as you've got the technical thing, and we all know Daniel is technically good at throwing his jab and at setting his feet, right, and sitting on his punches. Cool. But sometimes boxing goes out of um the technical ability. It goes out of that. it's confidence in it. Like you see someone like Fabio, right? See someone like Fabio Woolley. If Fabio sees you're frightened, he'll smell it. He'll smell it and he'll punish you. Yeah. Fabio will sense you're frightened and he'll do damage. He's going to do serious damage. If Dubois shows any mental fragility to Fabio, Fabio is going to pounce on it and he's going to damage him. Yeah, Dr. Wu. Daniel landing on Wardley because the Wardley does that. Well, you know when Wardley gets hit and he does the Incredible Hulk thing. You know what I mean? You hit Wardley and he gets angry. Wardley gets angry. I remember Nathan Gorman lighting up Fabio, and then he lit him up. Probably the first, second round, he lit him up a few times, and then in the third, he lit up Fabio once too many, and Fabio just got mad, and he turned that fight around horribly. He turned that fight around. Oh man. Jack Tappin, he said he's had enough of Daniel Dubois. Fabio is a much better champion. Well, we can't say that. He's yet to prove himself. He hasn't made a defense yet. Daniel's got the better. Who's got the better scalps? All right, Fabio's beat Fraser Clark, Joseph Parker, Adelaide. Who's got? Daniel's got Jarrell Miller, Hergovich, AJ. Daniel got the better scalps. Daniel got the better scalps, man. Sorry about that, people. Sorry, apologies. Nearly choked on the water there. Yeah, he's very spiteful. Fabio is very spiteful, Daniel. Lucas has got Dubois. Daniel, he thinks Dubois is the hardest puncher at heavyweight, even harder than Wardley. Hey, could be, Daniel, the biggest puncher. Daniel got power, man. Daniel got crazy power. Gary Gadget says Daniel has crazy power. Wardley will find out very quickly. Wow. Toby Bartlett, Kevin Lorraine nearly got Daniel out of there. If that was the Fabio fight, Fabio would have finished him for sure, in my opinion. I agree. Even that Tete guy hurt Daniel. You know what I mean? But Wardley's got tagged a couple of times. Daniel said, look at the uppercut he hit Lorena with. Yeah. Daniel, I know they have the same knockout percentage, but Dubois has fought tougher opponents and smoked them. Yeah, you see, the problem with Daniel, if you go in there with any mental carryover, and Wardley, I mean, Usyk did a job on Daniel, conclusively beat up Daniel. See, Gary is saying that Justice schooled Wardley. But listen, I can't remember who I picked. I forgot who I picked. But I did say Hooney is going to give Wardley a lot of issues with his boxing ability. And you know, hey, I tell you what, right? The undercard for Fury versus Makdamov, you've got TKV versus Riakport. Excellent fight. That's for the British title, right? Obviously, Connor's the co-main. Then you got the British title, right? And then you've got who is it? I just said it there. Who is it? Yeah, Hooney and Fraser Clark. I mean, they're crazy to bring Fraser back to that fight, but they have to take it. They have to take. Fraser is deep in his 30s, and this is a Saudi. This is a Saudi bag, so they've got to go for it. So Ben Shalom's got a lot gambling. He's got a lot gambling, isn't it? He's got TKV and Jamie. That's his flipping heavyweight roster. If them go down, Ben is in relegation trouble. I'm going to buy Ben a Tottenham shirt if both them lose. He's going to need a Tottenham shirt because we're going down. We're getting relegated. No, it won't be Daniel. Daniel, that fight's not going to be a stinker. Sometimes the fights that seem, I can see why you're saying it. I would agree with you, right? If you look at the lineup, you're going to say, yeah, that's going to be a stinker. I think it's going to shock everyone because sometimes them matchups turned out to be good. But you're probably right. It probably will be a stinker. You know what I mean? It's got smelly written all over it. Yep. Dubois fights nothing like Hooney. Toby says Wardley is the most dangerous when he's hurt. Very dangerous. Daniel says Wardley is just a great natural fighter. Yeah. I think if I'm thinking about the boxers out there now, I reckon Wardley would be the worst one to have a row with in the street. Not the worst, not the worst, but he'd be one of the worst. Right? He'd be one of the worst to have a row with in the streets. I can see Fabio would take someone's life out on the road. Lucas, it'd be a stinker. Hey, listen, you're Daniel probably right. You're rooting for the Tottenham man, for the Tottenham boy, TKV. Woolley's nose will be a deciding factor if it goes that long. Woolley ain't looking to stay in there long, man. Right? Woolley ain't looking to stay in there. He wants to knock Daniel out quick. He's not stupid, yeah? See, when you're fighting people like Daniel, the quicker you get it over, the better. Because like you guys are saying, when you got punching power like Daniel, the longer you stay in there, bro. You know what I mean? The longer you stay in there, the more dangerous it is for you. When people hit like Daniel, you need to get them out of there, bro. You need to get them out of there. Like, you see Lorena? When he had Daniel hurt, you needed to get him out of there, bro. Daniel's got TKV majority decision. Oh, you got him beating Richard? I wonder if Richard goes into that favorite with the bookies. Wardley game plan is to TKO Daniel in the first 5. Yeah, Wardley wants to get him out of there. He wants to get him out of there. He's not stupid. He wants to get him out of there. You know what I mean? Like AJ had a horrible game plan. It looked like, what was he looking for, the uppercut? Because Ben said he's vulnerable for the uppercut. You can't just look for one punch, man. Come on, man. All that leaning back and getting caught like that, man. Yeah, get him out. And you know why as well, Daniel? You want to go for Daniel early? Because he's coming off a knockout defeat, right? You're coming off a knockout defeat. You want to catch him early, right? And let him go through that flashback to the Usyk fight while he's not mentally all there. That's what you want to do. Daniel says CBS is not as crafty as he made Riakporhe look. Shit. He made Riakporhe look. Hey, listen. If Richard can't beat Chris Billion-Smith, he's going to struggle to beat TKV, bro. He's got to struggle against TKV. He has to struggle. Has to struggle. I want to testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. Yeah. If Richard goes in there, Lucas, looking for one shot and he's not throwing enough punches, TKV is due to maul him. Yeah? And you see, what's on TKV's side? TKV don't look the part, does he? He just don't look the part. And I think most of TKV's opponents who's beat, they thought, man, this guy don't look like, you know what I mean? He don't look all that. I'll beat him up. And then when they go in the ring, they find out TKV very strong. He's very strong, right? And he boxes a lot better than people think he is going to. Yeah? I like that fight. Even though it's going to be boring, Daniel, even though it's going to be a stinker, Daniel, I still want to see it. I still want to see it. I like the card. I like the card. See, that's where Turkey is going to catch up Frank, because obviously Frank has got the better main events. Yeah? He's got the better main events. Who's on the main event for Daniel versus Fabs? Who's the main event? Big up Tone. He says TKV showed a bit of nous against Frazier. Oh yeah, he did. He did. He did. I thought Frazier was gonna die in there, man. Frazier coming back pretty quick. See, I don't think that's a good idea, man. Like putting Frazier in with Hooney, but then again, Hooney ain't too long off the Fabio defeat. That was last year, wasn't it? That was a wicked fight, man. Hey, Hooney boxed a beauty, bro. He boxed a beauty for 10 and a half rounds. Boxed the absolute beauty. But there's the thing. You got to keep it going for 12, man, if necessary. I'm going to boil up some ginger and turmeric later. I ain't done it for a little while. That's what I'll do. I mean, the old body needs as much flipping immune boosting substances as possible, bro, at my age. You know what I'm saying? What hasn't been announced? I think the undercard's been announced, you know. Richard Riakporhe versus Jamie for the British title. And you've got Fraser Clark versus Hooney. See, Turkey not as stupid as people think. You put on a lot of heavyweight fights, and that's where he's going to make up ground. On Frank got the better main events, but Turkey, I mean, he's like Tyson Fury, Makhmudov, Ben versus Prograis, Jamie versus Riakporhe, and then you've got Fraser versus Hooney. That's a cut. How am I going to see it though? Because I don't have Netflix. How am I going to get to see it? Hakeem, long time, Hex. Big yourself up. Wardley versus Dubois undercount. Oh, it hasn't been announced yet? What's Frank waiting for? You see, Frank's struggling. Frank gonna struggle to compete with the undercard. Yeah. I want to see Makhmudov Fury live. Even though I ain't got a Netflix subscription, I'm gonna have to work around it. I don't want to buy a subscription. Can you get a day pass or something? Who's the best actor in this picture? You got Lawrence Fishburne, the guy from is it the Five Heartbeats? I can't remember the name. Eddie Murphy, Sam Jackson, Will Smith, and Denzel. Man, I don't know who's the best. They're all good. They're all good. They're all good in their own right, man. They're all good. You know what I mean? They're all good. They're all great actors. Great picture. It's a great picture. Can pubs play Netflix live broadcasts? You gonna watch it in the pub? Hakeem, nah, they do the first month's cheap if you're a new customer on Netflix. I've got no use for Netflix, man. I'm not around to watch films and stuff. Am I looking to go to the stadium to watch Fury? No, I'm gonna watch it on TV in comfort, bro. I'll watch it on TV. I mean, I don't want to be in no packed arena, man. I'm old, miserable, and claustrophobic. Can't do the crowd them. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch it on television. Lucas hates watching fights at the stadium. Too many idiots. Yeah, but that's £6 a month, isn't it? You're saying £6 is £6 a month. I don't know. I'll work around it, man. Ulix laughing my ass off. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Mr. D, Mr. DL. Stadium fights are crap unless you're near the front. Hakeem says just unsubscribed when I was done with it. Okay. That could be okay. Ulix near the front costs an arm and a leg. It is actually an option to go see it live. I guess that is an option. Time to get live. Live like a wire. I set the whole stage on fire. Judge has not ruled yet at the temporary restraining order. Okay, the temporary restraining order has expired. So Virgil Ortiz's lawyer has filed a motion with the court asking to confirm his TRO is expired and that he's a free agent to sign a fight with Jaron Ennis. They're talking about May. We could get that fight in May. DAZN is determined to get that fight on the broadcast. They're determined. They're absolutely determined. Okay, AJ doing his poetry, bro. AJ still healing, man. AJ doing that poetry. That's the flipping. AJ still healing. Prior to the TRO being granted, Ortiz was close to signing a professional boxing promotional agreement that, amongst other bouts to follow, included the fight with Jerome, and that was with Matchroom. I mean, yeah, he was heading over to Matchroom, bro. He was going to sign. He was going to sign. Make no mistake, he was going to sign. Man, Virgil, man, you don't want to get stuck on them sidelines, man. You don't want to get stuck on them sidelines. That's just no good. That's no good. Yeah, I got no problem, bro. I got no problem if Edgar needs the payday and he's got to travel to the UK and strip down an extra 4 pounds. That's his problem. They ain't my. I don't care. Okay. Troy Williams' next fight confirmed for April the 11th. Where does that leave Callum Simpson? It leaves him without his belts. He don't listen. There's no need for a rematch. Troy punched the brakes off Callum. You know what I mean? And I thought Callum was going to light him up. I thought Callum was just going to be too big. Callum didn't just beat him up. I mean, Troy was a little too slick for him. Troy set up his power punches beautifully. And it just makes you wonder. Like, Troy was a good amateur. There's stories coming out that Troy used to box very well as an amateur, but as a pro, he seemed to turn more into a brawler. Because at the time, like some of the promoters tell fighters, they're like, man, if you want to make any money or make any moves in the pros, you got to come in there on some Arturo Gatti, Mickey Ward every fight. And a lot of them, you know, they lose all the skills that they were using in the amateur, and they're fighting a totally different way. But he looked really good. Yeah, Lucas, he did screw him out of that title shot, didn't he? Because the EBU do not do rematch clauses. And if they find out you got a rematch clauses, they stripped you. So they lost him that European title. And with that, he lost his ranking. Yeah, they did screw him out. See that Ben Shalom? Yeah, I mean, listen, listen. Any of you are rooting for promoters, and I don't care if it's Eddie, I don't care if it's Ben. Phone call. Hey, if I'm in my legal right to move on, your phone call, bruh. What am I taking you on a date? You're not a girl, bruh. Phone you for what? I don't need to phone you. Match the matching right, or tie me down to a longer contract. Or let's keep it stepping. Toby. He's got Netflix to see the Macram series. I've been a subscriber since then. Only £6 a month, and you can cancel after a month and sub in and out as you please. Okay, that might be what I've got to do then, yeah? So is it difficult to unsub? Or they don't make it complicated or nothing, no? Hakeem, can Makhmudov beat Fury? No. No, he can't. He's not going to beat Tyson Fury. He loses in all departments, and you know what I mean. Like once you get guys like Makhmudov fighting someone with a longer reach, he's going to put a double jab on them. You're going to see how clumsy he is. You know what I mean? You know, he's so clumsy in there. You know what I mean? He ain't got that quick jab. You know what I mean? Like Daniel Dubois or nothing like that. He can't step in with a jab like that. If he could step in with the jab and keep his balance and stuff, he'd have a shot at least setting up some power punches with Fury. But he's gonna be like, he's gonna come in there, he's gonna be, you know, overreaching with his punches. This is just, he's gonna look nothing like he did against Dave Allen. Nothing like it. And Dave Allen was lighting him up at times. Ulick says The man Edgar, the former king of New York, looking to get the UK KFC crown from Eubank Jr. Did Eubank have the KFC jacket on? Man wearing a chicken jacket, you know. Dude, you're wearing a chicken jacket. Well, go on. Lucas, that's why Shalom was kissing Turkey's ass on Talksport. His fighters are all over the card. You bet your bottom dollar, dog. Hey, Ben is not falling out with Turkey. Let Frank and Eddie fall out. Ben not falling out. Ben not falling out, bro. Yeah. Thoughts on Nicole Yoka? Don't know, man. I don't know about Lawrence's career, man. Man, Lawrence has to give up whatever he's eating. Yeah, that high starch diet. That high starch diet is doing Lawrence Okoli no good. Yeah, you're a big man now, Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? You got all that money in front of you. Oh, it was hard to see, and you was near the front, Daniel. Yeah, yeah. Toby says no. Netflix is easy to sub in and out. But okay, you got you got to get the daughter-in-law to do that stuff. You're a bit of a techno dinosaur, a bit like me. Then it's all good, man. It's all good. Hey, listen, you got to make the youngsters. You know what I mean? The youngsters got to look after the olds when it comes to the tech. You know what I'm saying? Ulix, Matmadov like the Eastern Euro Wilder. Oh no. Ulix has got Lawrence via clinching. Lawrence better watch out though, because if Don Charles can reinvigorate Yoka, remember that's a gold medalist, yeah. Who's beating him? Bacoli, and who else beat him? Takam. They're good fighters, man. Takam and Bacoli are good fighters, man. So he better stay on his guards. You better keep your guards up, Lawrence, bro. You know what I mean? Oh, it did trigger World War III. It did. It definitely did. That last stream. It's all good though. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I mean. Owen, people forget with Fury that he fights to the level of his ability. You mean the level of his opponent? There is a possibility for Fury comes in and fights like an idiot, like he did against Cunningham and Ngannou. Yeah, you still have to pick Fury to beat Mamadov. Veritas, what's good? Man, everyone's hoping that Fury, not everybody, but there's a lot of people hoping that Mamadov can just throw a punch from the gods, man. Land it on Fury's chin. And you know what people are thinking? Well, if Garner could put him down and if Garner really beat him, they're thinking Mamadov could do the same. Hey, listen, you never know. You never know, man. Fury is getting to that age, man. And Makhmudov should work on his footwork and his jab. That's what he should work on. Yeah. Don't be just trying. It depends though, because yeah, you have to. If you're fighting Fury, I mean, what do you do? Do you try and get your footwork on point, make it hard for him to hit you, try and hit him with some jabs and movement? Because I think that would be very effective against Fury. But at the same time, you want to get stuck into him, perhaps work his body, smash him up to the body, because he's got a lot of torso to aim for. And see guys like Otto Wallin. If Otto Wallin had power, if Otto Wallin had power, that fight, just saying, just saying. I don't like doing ifs because Otto brought what he had to the ring, but yeah, it's probably a bit late, cop end, to be honest. Yeah, Fury's gonna jab his head off, Tom. He's gonna jab his head off, man. Yeah, we keep hearing that John Fury is in the opposite corner from Usyk, but was he going in the ring? He could be the opposite. Hey, listen, you can't polish a turd, bro. You know what I mean? You can bring pledge and a whole bag of cloths and feather dusters. You cannot polish a turd, my friend. He's a kickboxer. You know what I mean? I can't remember his name. What is it? Rico Suave. You know what I mean? Rico Suave. Does Fury have a jab, says Copen09? Yeah, he has a jab. Cool, come on. He has a jab. He has a jab. He's going to jab his nut off. Veritas Yokas is 25 pounds heavier. Now around 265. He said in an interview how he learned a lot from his mistakes. Veritas is putting his money on Yoka. KO TKO. Ooh. Oh, okay. I like it. Bold pick. Muhammad, if Fury loses to Muck, what you guys calling him there? Is Makhmudov. He should retire. Ulix, Rico Suave. I don't know his name. You know what I mean? Owen, literally no one is getting excited for Usyk's upcoming bout. Everybody's disappointed and wanted the Caballero bout. But Usyk clearly has other interests at the moment. Yep, other interests like earning the bag. He wants the bag. That's his interest. You know what I mean? Get the money. Let's get the money right now. Make sure you get the money first before you lie down in a beg. I'll start doing the work. Cuphead, Fury don't make people nosebleed from his so-called jab. All he does is flick and range fight. Yeah, but that should be enough, isn't it? That's the thing. That should be enough against Makhmudov. Yeah, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't have a Muhammad Ali jab. Muhammad said last time he heard Rico, he was in court. There was some Howard Marks business, yeah. Yeah, I'm not allowed to call him Rico Verhoeven. I'm not allowed to call him that. Kickboxer. Usyk versus the kickboxer. You know what I mean? That's what I call him, the kickboxer. You know what I mean? He ain't done nothing in boxing that I'm going to call him by his name. Ulix, Rico, the kickboxer, great in glory. No idea of him being in boxing. Me neither. Me neither. Fury will probably fight Southpaw as he always does versus a non-threat, says Coppin. Del Boy, I watched a bit of Rico, and he isn't even a big puncher with his hands. He's a technical volume guy. Regardless, it's rubbish if you take fights like this. Vacate the belts. Yeah, a lot of people are not supporting Usyk. He's got a few sycophants who they don't care what he does. And I don't. Hey, listen, man. If he's getting the money, do what he's got to do, man. But I tell you what, I think people are more interested in Wilder Chisora than that fight. Muhammad, you're going with the kickboxer Rico. Oh yeah. Rico just done. Yeah, boxer's named Rico. You know what I mean? Boxer's named Rico. You know what I mean? Keep that shit kickboxing, Rico. No, say that again. You might be a bad man. When is the Fundora Thurman fight? I'm not even too sure. Delboy said he likes Usyk, but there has to be a base level of standards. This is a joke. It's not the crowning glory for Usyk, is it? But yo, if he wins well, people will forget that fight, and you know what I mean. Hey, if he ends up on the canvas though, or this guy takes him the distance, you know the problem with Usyk here. As good as he doesn't get first or second round knockouts, and if this one drags into the seventh or eighth, people are gonna be like, "Oh my god!" It's kind of like AJ and Jake Paul. Like, how long did Jake last? A lot of people say, "Yo, he was in there too long, man. He was in there too long." Man, Delboy, it'd be shocked if Thurman makes it past 6 against Fundora. I think it will be ugly. Fundora is learning how to use his size now. That's the problem Keith is going to have. He's just getting older, and he's not going to be any more physically stronger than a prime Keith Thurman. If he lets that guy lean on him, rough him up, I don't know, Keith. It could be horrible. Could be horrible. And you know what Keith's problem is, yeah? See, Keith, if you rough Keith up, right? Keith got them features that start swelling up his cheekbones and his eyes and start bruising up. I don't like the fight for him. Owen, Wilder versus Chisora is a far more competitive fight and makes sense at this stage, at this point in either man's respective career. Both shot, and I can see either winning. He'd prefer Chisora to win, to be honest. What the Usyk fight is not on Zuffa. It looks like this is just a turkey job. Usyk, he says, Usyk has took the tough fights, but Usyk should drop the belts if he wants to chill. Delboy, yeah, people are sleeping on Fondora's improvements. He's a dangerous guy, human praying mantis slicing people up. Yeah. Um, I don't like Thurman's inactivity, man. Inactivity, old. I don't know, man. Coppin, he's got a feeling Thurman is going to shock Delboy. I don't rate this Fundora cat. Daniel, he's got Fury via UD. What, you're not going to stop that guy? Not going to stop Makhmudov? Makhmudov's going to bruise up, man. Coppin, that jab's going to do more damage than what you're saying, man. That jab's going to swell up Makhmudov's face, bro. Even that Italian guy don't hit harder than Fury. He busted up Makhmudov's face, bro. Couple of rounds boxing, Makhmudov's face was mangled his face up. And that was just behind a basic jab and 1-2. Vianelli. You know what I mean? The Italian. Horrible Italian accent. It's the best I got. Muhammad says, one of the ring writers said this is Usyk's biggest challenge up to date. It might be a near-death situation. What do you think, Beats? That man, listen, they're going to say that because Turkey's back in a minute. It's all biased. Like they said, the Wardley Dubois ticket sales were doing poor, and the tickets hadn't even been on the market yet. So they're just biased. That's the Ring magazine. They're biased. I mean, once you know them outlets are so biased, you can't even take them serious no more, man. Oh, you're saying that Thurman's time has gone, Ulix. Fundora by stoppage. I don't rate Fundora either, man, but he is dangerous. He is dangerous. Coppin, if Thurman wins, him versus Spence needs to be next. Just get on with it and close out their era. Del Boy, what do you think of Inoue versus Nakatani? Don't get me wrong, I really like the fight, but I felt Nakatani should have rematched Reyes first. I felt he lost that fight. Takes the shine off it for me a bit. He didn't shine against Nakatani Reyes. It could have went either way. I agree. But at the same time, Inoue not really destructive, and he is looking a little vulnerable when he takes hard shots. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be a war. That's a great matchup. It's going to be a bit of a war, that one. And it's on the zone, man. It's on the zone. It's on the zone. Owen. He likes Fundora. Saw him in the gloves are off. Seemed like a simple man. Happily playing in the undisputed game where he's an obvious cheat code. Okay. Daniel says the Usyk fight can be in space. People still aren't interested. It's a stranger. Like, I don't. Is it just something for Turkey? I mean, this event, because no one is on board with it. Why would you make a fight like this? At Delboy, Reyes is a much different style. In a way, it could be more vulnerable to that sniper style. Reyes in the second half smothered Nakatani, whereas Inoue didn't do that. He will give Nakatani more space. Good point. Reyes was very underestimated. Reyes was very underestimated. I don't know, you know. I'll have to do some study on that, Delboy, on this fight. I have to do some study on it, man. I've got a feeling. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's an excellent matchup, though. I'm glad it's happening. It's one of the matchups that needed to happen. It's the type of fight that Netflix ain't interested, that Dana's not interested in. You know what I mean? So once the zone are putting on fights like that, they'll still have a foundation, of diehards. Why would the kickboxing fans be interested to see Rico getting smashed up by Usyk in a discipline that they know nothing about? I don't know. Muhammad, the ring just trying to sell a gimmick fight. Yeah, this is like I can't see how this guy don't give Usyk no issues, man. Would this Rico guy beat Jake Paul? I don't know. How would he do against? Would he knock out Jake Paul? Yeah, the Netherlands are big on kickboxing. I used to know a kickboxer from over there, a black guy. I tell you what, bro. Tell you what. I'm glad me and him were cool, bro. I would like to get on the back. I saw some of his vids. He was flipping good, bro. He was good. He was good. You know what I mean? He was good. My friend said he went to the club with him. He was because he was a bit younger than me, so it was my friend's friend really, and they said they went to a club in London, and like they got into an issue on the door, and my friend said he had to jump in quick, right? Not to save the kick, but to save the bouncer because he would have died. You know what I mean? He doesn't know. You would have died. You would have died. You would have died. He was a powerhouse. Not a tall guy. He was about an inch taller than me, or maybe I'd say he was a powerhouse. You would have died. It would have been all over, bro. It would have been all over for you if you had ever tried to fight that kid. All over. It would have been all over. What was what was the franchise who done kickboxing called? I used to watch a lot of kickboxing and got really into it, man. And got really into it. Is it K2? No, that's Klitschko's. What was it called? It was K. Was it K1? Remy Bojanski was one of the guys, right? He looked like a lawyer, a black guy. He didn't look like anything like combat sports. He was very athletic, but he was good. He used to fly. The man used to glide through the air and kick man's chins off, bro. Remy Bojanski, his name was. And who else was in there? I can't remember the names, man. I can't remember the names. It was pretty good though. It used to come on television when I was watching it. Yeah, Remy was bad, bro. Remy was bad. I think was Bob. I see Bob Sapp in it, and I mean he got Brock up, man. Remy Bojanski. Let me see if it comes up. Um, it's pretty good though. I remember one of the first matches they played on there, man. And I saw that the guy took what was it? Was it? I saw one black guy take a knee to the chin. A knee. Yeah? This I'm talking a full-blooded knee to the chin. I don't know what this guy's chin. Yeah, I remember Peter Schultz. Was he the Australian guy? Ernesto Hus, I know them names. Yeah, I know Ernesto Hus. I don't remember Alistair Overeem. Why do Dagestanis dominate MMA? I don't know. It's sad. Boy, he would definitely getting into kickboxing and Muay Thai if I was given a chance. Just don't. Yeah, it's just finding the time in it to watch all that. It was excellent. It used to come on terrestrial television. I used to watch it. It was flipping good. You know what I mean? It was pretty good. I saw this guy eat a knee to the chin, bang on his chin, and this guy ate the knee and battered his opponent. He was fighting this really tall dude. It was a black guy who ate. He was a short, squat guy. He ate the knee and come back and mauled the guy, mauled him. How do you take a knee to the chin and stay on your feet? Sammy, is it? How do you pronounce that? I don't want to say Shit, but Sammy, I'll call him Sammy. One championship and RWs are very good for watching Muay Thai. Gary Goodrich. Lucas says Ernesto Hus low kicks were lethal. Tyron Sprung. Tyron Sprung was supposed to fight Usyk as well, weren't he? The bone on bone kicks. Oh gosh. That just sound painful. I mean. Oh yeah, he put for Peds, didn't he? He put for Peds. Tyrone Sprung. Daniel, he's got Chisora knocking out Wilder in 3. Dubois stopping Wardley on cuts. And Fury beating that Russian on points. All right, you got all your picks. Good to go. You gonna put any money on any of them picks? It looked like it was pretty popular as well when at that time. Is it K1? Hoskin, Nikki Hoskin performed against Callum Smith. I'm trying to remember that fight. Man, Rico getting smashed up. Coppin, does Franklin go the distance versus Moses? Whew. I don't know. HC, Simon Jordan thinks Franklin gets stopped early, so that means it goes points. I think Franklin is being undersold. It's all a matter if Franklin can slow him up. Make him hesitate. But yeah, he doesn't have no pot, Franklin. Yeah, but didn't he take the guy's unbeaten record? Was it Jermaine Franklin? The Ditchkoff. He beat Ditchkoff, innit? Didn't he beat Ivan Ditchkoff? I didn't see the fight though. They said it was a horrible fight. Jim, he's going Makhmudov for the win, you know. Jim, if you can, is that a rational, studied pick, or is that a pick that you want to happen? Lucas says Franklin beat Ditchko, but it was terrible. Yeah, you could say it was terrible. Ditchko was a good amateur, right? And he was unbeaten. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Coppin 09, at least Franklin can't complain about the lack of notice. He's had true training camps for this. True that. Yeah, Ditchko. Yeah, Ditchko. I saw the. I think I did see the highlights. I saw the highlights. All right, let's go to Twitter before we sign out. Frank Warren. March the 28th. So we've still got a bit of time for Moses versus Jermaine Franklin. We'll see, man. Conor Ben Prograis. So Troy Williamson is fighting Simon Zakunuba. On what card is this? Oh, he's in the prelims. I mean, look at the prelims, man. The prelim, they got Troy Williamson in the prelims. Mike Talon, Felix Cash are all in the prelims. Oh, Troy got himself a little slot on the turkey card. Connection went unstable there, as per usual. Right. HC for the super chat. Big yourself up. It says Floyd versus Crawford. Lennox versus Foreman. And Tyson versus Usyk. Who would you pick for each? And what are 3 top fantasy matchups for you? I don't normally do fantasy matchups, but because you've done a super chat, I'm obligated to do this. You got Floyd versus Crawford. I would go for my first fantasy match. I would pick. At what weight Floyd versus Crawford? I think Floyd would beat Crawford at lightweight, but I think Crawford might get Floyd at welter. Is that a cop out? I don't want to pick 40 or 47. I'm not picking against Floyd, man. I'm picking Floyd. I'm picking Floyd. I think the defense might be the determining factor. Lennox versus Foreman. That's a good one. Lennox versus Foreman. I would go for. I would go for a Foreman points win. I'll go for Foreman on points. A late knockdown would seal it for Foreman. I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. I go for Foreman though. And then Tyson versus you. You mean Mike Tyson versus Usyk? What, Prime Mike? Prime Iron Mike versus Prime Alexander Usyk. That's a difficult one. Prime Mike. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll probably go for Mike Tyson. And then, okay, let's go for the fantasy matchups. Free fantasy matchups. I would like to see. Who would I like to see? Heavyweight. Let me see. I don't do fantasy matchups like that, so it's difficult. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. Fantasy matchups. Archie Moore. Who was I thinking when I was thinking about a potential matchup? Archie Moore, Bob Foster would be good. Archie Moore versus Bob Foster would be great. Light heavy, 175. I'd go for Holyfield versus Usyk. At 200 pound. 200 at a 200 pound cruiserweight limit. One more. Let me see. Would be a good matchup. I'd like to see Pernell Whitaker versus Lomachenko at 135. I think Whitaker would win it, but I'd just like to see the fight. I would like to see that fight. Pernell Whitaker, Lomachenko at 135. Who would I pick? Holyfield versus Usyk. I don't. Oh boy, I'm not picking that one. That one, I mean, like I picked the three you told me to pick. I'm not going to pick that one yet. I'd have to dissect that. I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard one to pick on the spot. That's a very difficult one to pick on the spot. I don't know. See, because if I pick, I'm going to pick bias because I was a massive Holyfield fan. Like he was one of the great fighters of the era when boxing was boxing for me in the 80s. So I'd be biased in it and just probably pick Holyfield without even going through the intangibles. Copin 09, the Fury prelims is on the Ring Magazine socials for free, as far as I can tell. Okay. Hey, that's a good. That prelims is like the main portion of a lot of events, isn't it? I mean, Del Boy, Monzon versus Hagler. Pac-Man versus Duran, 135. That's good. Vitali versus Vlad. That's an excellent one. That's an excellent one. Pac-Man versus Duran is wicked. Although you know Duran is crushing Pac-Man though. At 135, Duran is having his way. You know what I mean? Manny would need restitution. He's getting broke up. He's getting broke up. It's a good matchup though. Definitely a good matchup. Pacquiao versus Pernell Whitaker would be exciting. Vitali beats Vlad. You think Vitali beats Vlad? Probably does, you know. He probably does. Um, I do like Pac-Man versus Durando. Monzon versus Hagler. I've got Hagler. I've got Hagler. Vitali versus Vlad. Tone, are we talking fantasy fights? Fury versus Joshua. Uh, that's the one, isn't it? Wilder versus Joshua. HC, he thinks Vlad is more talented, but Vitaly has more grit. You don't think Vlad's got grit? Vlad's got grit, man. Vlad never quit, bruh. Vlad got stopped, but he didn't quit. Vlad didn't quit in no fights. Vlad has grit. Vlad has grit. Didn't quit. You think? See, the thing is, like, some are saying Vitali has more grit. I'm not sure about that. And some is saying Vlad is more talented. Vitali was so talented. Tone, Camacho versus Whitaker, 135 prime. I'll go for Whitaker. I think Whitaker versus Duran is the matchup, bro. At 135, Whitaker versus Duran is a sick matchup. You know what I mean? Sick matchup, bro. Duran versus Whitaker, 135. Jim, he says Vitali would big bro Vlad. Fantasy fights. Boots versus Ortiz, says Uwix. Unpopular opinion, says Delboy. I'm not convinced Vitali had more gift than Vlad. Most fighters would have retired after Vlad got starched 3 times. Yeah, he had a lot of grit, man. He had a lot of grit. He had a lot of grit. Vitali even told him he should retire after Brewster. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that must have been tough. His brother telling him to retire. Bruno versus Mason. Ooh, that one's come up a few times, you know, Ton. Boy, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I have to come back to that one. That's a tough one. We didn't see enough of Mason, man, at the world level. That's the problem. Yeah. See, that's right. I think they're saying he had a better chin, like you said, Dilbert, because he did quit against Chris Bird. He did quit. Like, okay, is it the rotary cuff was really painful, but he quit. He gave up the ghost. Yeah, he was up on the scorecards against Bird. You know what I mean? and he just gave up the ghost. Inoue versus Prince Nassim. Prince Nassim too big, isn't it? He's way too big. Nassim a featherweight. I'd pick Nassim to knock him out. Cold as well. If you're undersized, you can't fight Prince Nassim. You know what I mean? Although Barrera came from what weight did he fight Junior Jones at? That was beneath featherweight. I'd pick Nassim to knock Inoue out. What, Inoue moving up to feather? Prince Nassim is leveling him. Leveling him. I ain't got Inoue beating Prince Nassim at 126. No, I don't. Getting broke up. Duke McKenzie's best wins, Copen 09. He lost to Dave McCauley. He beat Charlie Magri, I think, for the British or European. Canizales, he did not Orlando. He beat the puncher, man. What was not Orlando, but what was his name? He punched really hard. He beat him as well. He beat the Rolando Boho for his first title. That was a good win. That was a good win. I'd have to put up the box rec to get the full resume. But Duke was a good fighter, man. Oh, what, Ben versus Froch? HC. Froch would give linkage. Okay, he's gone for Ben versus Froch. Froch would have a size advantage over Ben, but Ben's speed would cause him issues early. That's it, Gary. Well done, Gabby. Gabby punched so hard, bro. He punched so hard. Froch versus Ben. That's a tough one, actually, at 168. Froch would give him issues. If he used the jab, it would give him issues. Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson. Froch has the better chin, says HC. Based on what? He got dropped by George Groves. He got dropped by who else dropped him? Someone else dropped Carl Froch. Jermaine Taylor. Um, who would win that? Froch versus Ben. Yeah. Michael Watson did get to Ben. Yeah, he did get to Ben, but he punched himself out more than a chin issue. Well, you can't. I mean, if you're going to factor in someone getting hurt by Gerald McClellan hurt everybody you fought. You know what I'm saying? You do realize Gerald McClellan was the most dangerous fighter in the sport when he fought Nigel Benn. Yeah, Andre Durrell, he buzzed him a little. Who do you think is the greatest what if story in boxing outside of Salvador Sanchez? Like, whose career got cut short? Yeah, you got Valero, Iber Borshi, as you meant there. Who else have you got? Um, uh, I've got one on my tip of the tongue. It's just not coming to my mind. Okay, you think Eubank is a worse matchup for Froch than Ben? Says Del Boy. How good was Bar McGregor? Says Copid09, and what was his best wins? He ducked to Zuma Nelson religiously. He beat Eusebio Pedrosa for the title, good win. He beat Juan Laporte. Was that an eliminator in the fight just before he fought um, Pedrosa? They're very good wins. His best wins: Pedrosa, Laporte. Who else did he beat around? He beat Bernard Taylor, Daniel Cabrera, struggled against Cabrera. They're probably his best wins. HC, I agree. Delboy Eubank gives Froch a much tougher matchup. Calzaghe beats Froch on points. I think Eubank beats Froch. I think Eubank beats Froch. Would have been a good fight though. At 168, with a very good fight. Yeah, I like the Froch Eubank fight. Aaron Pryor, Meldrick Taylor would be a sick fight. Aaron Pryor, Meldrick Taylor would be sick. Do me a favor. The WBC sanctioned the kickboxer versus Usyk. What do you guys think about that? Are you happy about that, or does it bother you? Hagler versus Monzon. I don't think Monzon's beating Hagler, man. Conor Ben versus Maidana. Okay. Well, considering like the accomplishments Madonna has, I'll pick Madonna, man. Pick Madonna. Just too aggressive, man. If he pushes Conor on the back foot, what does Conor do? Delboy, in retrospect, do you think Steve Collins got overlooked? I watched this fight with McCallum and was surprised by his level way before my time. I really only watched his fights with Ben and Eubank. I think most people only saw the Ben and Eubank fights. But you got to remember, like, Steve Collins' resume, man. You got Kevin Watts on there, right? It's a good win. He got beaten up pretty bad by Reggie Johnson, who I interviewed. Not badly, but yeah, Reggie rocked him a couple of times. He lost to McCallum. Like you say, who else? He lost to Sumbu Kalambe for the European title. 4 wins over Eubank and Ben. Yeah, he was overlooked. Definitely over. You know, his issue was he retired before the Calzaghe fight came up because he got floored by just an average opponent when he was defending that 168-pound title. And he retired before he had to deal with the Calzaghe equation. Floyd Mayweather versus Sugar Ray Leonard, says Dr. Wu Doc. What, 147? That's an interesting fight. That is an interesting fight. It depends, man. Sugar Ray maybe too much power. Floyd maybe too much defense. Koto versus Shakur at 130, says SK. That's an excellent matchup. It's an excellent matchup. I'll pick Koto at 140. Tone, Beterbiev versus Cowie. Oh, good. Man, I'm picking Dwight, man. I'm picking Dwight. It's a good fight, though. Eubank reckons Collins ducked Calzaghe. Well, he did, really. He did. He did duck him. If I'm being honest, he ducked him. He gave up the belt and retired. What's that all about? Then years later, oh, I want to fight Roy Jones. I want to fight this guy. Tarver versus Adonis Stevenson. Adonis was very underrated at his prime. That's a tough fight, you know. That's a tough fight. I like the fight, though. I do like the fight. Sylvester, what's good? So Mosley versus Boots. What was Shane? Sugar Shane? Sugar Shane. Sam Judah versus Conor Ben. Oh, God. I'll tell you a better one is Zab Judah versus Kell Brook. That'd have been a good fight. Zab Judah versus Kell. Del boy, Adonis had that ability to where his opponents thought they were out of range, but because of his super long arms, you could catch them with that long left hand. Yeah, and you didn't want to get caught with that. Sylvester, Kell versus Thurman. That's a good fight. That's a good fight, bro. It's a good fight. Crawford versus Prime Oscar at 154. That's a good fight. That's good. Now we talking some fights. Some fights. That left hand from Stevenson was gangster. Was proper gangster. He was a good fighter, Stevenson. He was a good fighter. Adonis. Stevenson folded Bellew, said Dr. Wu. Yeah, he did. He did, like, whoa. The finishing combo, bro. Yeah. Didn't Carl Froch avoid the Adonis Stevenson fight? Didn't he avoid it? Have I got that wrong somewhere? I'm sure he avoided it. He avoided the smoke. Del boy, feel like Stevenson ruined his career from a legacy standpoint. Going to Showtime, spent years fighting C-level guys. When he stepped back 40, he gave Jack and Vodzik good fight. The Vodzik fight was good, man. It just ended really bad for Stevenson. But that's the dangers of going in a boxing ring and being a gladiator. You know what I mean? I remember Remember Low Place, man. Adonis was his guy. HC was disappointed Ward didn't unify with Stevenson. Yeah. He kicked out before those Soviet guys came through. Yeah, man. Ward, you mean, man? Ward avoiding smoke, man. Ward, but he's gonna, his fans are gonna say he was injured, though, Beats. So why is he? Because why was he saying he wanted to fight AJ a few years after then? Why? Anyway, it's all good, Andre, man. You got that Rock Nation check and cut out. You know what I'm saying? Cut out. Yeah, he's got enough on Zuffa. HC. Ward talked a lot of crap about Russian fighters. Yeah. I mean, he had a lot to say about a lot of things that he didn't have to fight no more. You know what I'm saying? Del boy, he thinks Froch has plausible deniability at the time. Stevenson didn't really beat anyone, and Froch fought the guy who beat him in Kessler instead. You could call it a duck, but he had deniability. Yeah. I'm not sure about that, Del boy. Not sure about that. He looked like he didn't want to catch that left hand to me. Yeah, man. But Turbiev would have probably been too green at the time. Let's not forget, Paterbi was on the canvas, and I don't know. It might have been a bit too early for Paterbi in the pros. Right. This would probably be the time to bid you guys good night. Been a good hangout, though. All right, people. I'm gonna call this one a day. Peace. I should have done some quiz questions, shouldn't I? It's a bit late now. It's just too late. Should have done some quiz questions. Next time we do some quiz questions. Peace.